Nagraj is the real Mr. Nags.
Oh, yes. Danish, we've given you a big shout out. Thank you very much.
Danish, can you please slap these guys? Thank you on my behalf.
Okay. IPL retention chatter. Best. RCB retention chatter. Best. No?
Redo.
Or bakwas. IPL retention chatter is bakwas. So RCB. But I think the best will be heard right now on RCB as Nagaraj Golapudi, man who spent many a year through the streets of Bengaluru, just navigating his way across the high offices of the RCB ownership. And then for Dustin and Adi who pretend to also be close to them. I have never spoken to anybody in my life connected to that franchise, even though I love them. RCB retentions. Anyone other than Kohli, Patidar and Mohammed Siraj is the question we are asking. Let's go. Nagaraj.
Are you telling me Patidar and Siraj are on board?
I'm just saying that those are my three assumptions because if I have to pick the three best players, I would pick three best Indian players. I would pick those three. And if you're telling me they're not there, then tell me. I'm happy to listen.
I'm not telling not. I'm just thinking that 18, 14, 11. So 18 plus is for Kohli.
No,
whatever.
You got that wrong. Yeah, 18 plus. 18
plus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 18 plus
Kohli. Season number 18. That also, please remember.
Wow, Adi.
Oh, Adi is prepared for Kohli.
season number 18 and all. Well done. Okay. So yeah, so I'm saying Kohli 20 plus. Siraj and Patidar between them to
10-10.
Split the rest of whatever's minimum required. I believe. But yeah, those three I believe are retained. Are you telling me
There's one more name I would like to add. So apart from Kohli, Siraj and Patidar, they might be looking at Yash Dayal also.
Yeah. I think he's been there for a consistent
4 crores, but they can
they are. I think it's Yash Dayal.
Yeah.
I would be absolutely staggered if Yash Dayal isn't retained there. He in fact went for more than 4 crore last year, and he enjoyed quite an effective season with RCB.
Yeah.
But won't they consider Vaishak over there? I mean, Vaishak has had perhaps more success in the IPL for RCB, no?
Not more than Yash.
No, in terms of experience.
Yash,
I mean, Dayal has shown enough.
Make their team every game. Yash Dayal was making their team every game.
I mean, if you look through the RCB list, in terms of the Indian names outside these, there is no come and buy me kind of a guy, come and retain me kind of a person I can think of. But the only other choice they would have thought of is an overseas name, but he's injured, which is Cam Green, right?
Cam Green.
So Cam Green probably they would have considered, but then if Cam Green is I think the news piece that I read is at least 6 to 9 months. Franchises are saying, other franchises are also checked. It's about a year or so he's out. So if he's not available as a full-time all-rounder, then there's no point you would think to risk. And in all likelihood, he's not going to be there at the auction. So clearly, that's the only name I would have thought RCB would have thought of. So if we believe these four,
Faf is not worth the retention.
No, I have a question for Mr. Nags.
Personally, I would.
Is that somebody on this panel was saying Virat Kohli might become captain again. Is that contingent on Faf not being retained and being part of RCB, or even if Faf is there, then Kohli will be captain?
I don't think it must. I think he's got it very clear in his, or he's probably made his decision very clear. He wants to be captain again.
So then that means Faf's value comes down because he's not going to be captain even if he's there.
Well, I think the first question here is that they are happy that the one thing they're clear about is that Faf doesn't make sense for them to retain Faf at the retention amounts that have been prescribed.
Yeah.
Right? Where either 18 or 14 or 11. They, with due respect to Faf, feel like the value can be lower if he enters the auction. If it's low enough for them to also buy him back, that it gives them the option of Faf continuing, even though from all accounts, and we've discussed this on a run order a month back, that Kohli at his behest is keen to be captain. But I feel like that kind of news, if the franchise was set with, it would have certainly been out. I mean, there's no reason for it to be out right now in off season, but it would have certainly picked up more steam. So therefore, I'm inclined to believe that they still want to keep their options open. Kohli is an option. It's not like Kohli doesn't want to captain, which was the case for the last few years. But they'll also see how things play out. Nagaraj, of course, broke a story of KL Rahul likely to enter the auction. I'm sure Rahul would be of interest, which we've discussed before, to RCB. If they can become another overseas option, that's of interest, great. So I think the captaincy is up for grabs where Kohli is one strong contender. That's how I'd put it.
Yeah. And I feel that Yeah, we've already touched upon this. Personally, I feel that Faf is a good choice, but you can't. He was bought at 7 crores in 22,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
7 crores is too high at the moment. I think he will probably go anywhere double his base price if he puts it at 2 crores, maybe in the 4 crore range. But there are other teams also looking, and he's really a good choice. If RCB, well, whether RCB will have that kind of a money at that point, we'll only know later. We can't kind of speculate at
Yeah.
the moment. But I'm sure they'll keep that option open. If they buy him back, then he clearly becomes a contender if the franchise thinks.
I also think he's not a kind of a player who's not going to give you anything less than 100% if he's not captain. So that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with them is that they are giving themselves more flexibility with their RTMs by not retaining Faf. They will be tempted to RTM Will Jacks, to RTM
Maxwell.
and Maxwell. So that way, just looking at the various options they do have, they also have to keep in mind they must replace Dinesh Karthik now. So they will have to keep
keeper batter is their biggest
keep some
things.
they have to give themselves some bandwidth at the auction, and therefore I think it's fair. I can see totally rational reasons why Faf's going into the auction.
So if we go with Kohli 20 plus,
Siraj.
So let's say 21, let's say 22, put a number, 22 plus 14 plus 11, right? So that's
the second one doesn't have to be 14, right? Meaning it can be so.
No, I don't. I'm just adding it up.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, right?
How does it matter? Just 20.
On paper, you get deducted.
12 and 12, like 24 crore between the two. So 20, 12, 12. That should be it. Because 18, 14, 11 is 43, right?
And
so 43 plus 4, 47. Uncapped. So 47 crores. So they will have they'll go into the auction with 73 crores.
Which is a very, very healthy amount.
Which is a good amount. So they can buy a keeper batter. They can buy, they have a 73 is not a bad. And they can RTM.
But replace DK with DK.
Suddenly they have a lot of money for a keeper batter who could also be a captaincy option, who perhaps has played for Bangalore before, who knows Bangalore, who is a Bangalore boy. I don't think there's anyone there though. So
but just to make a case for Faf, like I know Faf.
What's the expression KL makes?
Sorry, Dustin.
No, I was saying Faf is, he may be 40, but if you look at what he's doing, like his form is not diminishing at all. His form since the IPL is excellent. He was the top scorer at Major League Cricket. He's like striking still close to 160 even in CPL.
They won CPL.
And I think he's been a really good captain for RCB. Like got them to the playoffs last time. I mean, I would be tempted to retain Faf. I don't know. Obviously, maybe that's not the way the franchise is thinking, but I wouldn't write it off so easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fair enough. But like I said, the minute you do that, you then have to really buy back Will Jacks if you want him back. If you use your RTM for a player like Maxwell or whoever comes first, you might also want to be swayed by that. So there's something that they need to figure out.
And Ronak, there's just one more point. I don't think there's not just retention of players. I'll probably pose this question to Naga also. I'm hearing, are they retaining Andy Flower?
Very much so.
He is in the thick of things.
Okay.
Please don't. Let's not. I think whoever is your source, send.
I'll have to shoot them. I will shoot them.
Shoot that messenger. So, Andy Flower. I don't.
Andy, I'm very sorry, Andy. I'm just saying this. If you're watching, Andy, I'm very sorry. Adi is a very good man, but sometimes good men are surrounded by evil men.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. We leave it there. So, if you were in RCB's camp, would you be retaining anybody else or not retaining any of the names we mentioned? Kohli, Siraj, Patidar, Yash, Dayal are the 4 that we've secured right now. Any other additions or deletions to that list? No. Nagaraj? No. Justin, no.
No, there's no uncap.
I said Faf already, but you guys have better info than me.
Adi?
No, because like Naga made a point, they don't have many, with all due respect, they don't have many RTM worthy players. So you may as well, if you're thinking about someone else, you may as well retain them rather than, because what are you going to achieve with the RTM apart from Maxwell? Who else are you going to use an RTM?
Well, Will Jacks. I think
Will Jacks is there.
Very exciting player.
I mean, Jacks and Maxwell are the two, and then maybe even Faf.
I don't mind if somebody like, I mean, I wouldn't say Lomror, but certainly someone like Reece Topley He'd be of interest to them?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I mean,
Okay.
personally, no. Personally, not an RTM on Topley.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it's again
Fair
the
enough.
coaching staff have moved
And
apart.
are we
and
absolutely certain that Cameron Green is not entering the auction? We know that he's unlikely to play IPL next year, but will he enter the auction anyway?
I mean, from what I hear is unlikely.
Okay. So
Because if you're out for 6+ months, you're
9
clearly
months
not
more.
going to.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, it's
More
a
like 9
doubtful
months.
thing.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it there then. Gentlemen, thank you very much. That was the RCB IPL retention chapter.